happened at the end of that video is you should have gotten basically a screen that popped up that gave you the ability to come over to this live stream. It should have given you a basically here's an upcoming after premiere live stream, and you should be able to be right here. So I really hope you guys are. And what's interesting about that is that the way that live streams are supposed to work is, yes, you absolutely schedule them. And what's interesting about that is that what happens is if you're like on the live stream and you basically are just sitting there, like I was literally just watching to see if my live stream came on, and it's counting down like the amount of minutes from when I scheduled it. But if you hit refresh, then it shows that it's live now. It's a little disappointing. I actually just wish it would sort of just like kick in. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. This will actually probably be my last video or my last stream, basically, between now and when Gracie and Euryce leave and go to Singapore. And so I wanted to do this big time because it's incredibly cathartic and helpful for my sanity, which I really appreciate from you guys. Hello, Joe and Mariano. Thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody actually for watching the previous premiere. I got a lot out of watching it myself. Actually, I was reminded like, hey, I actually need to set some goals. And so that was anyway, it was a good thing for me to do. So anyway, but Joe and Mariano, thank you for coming by. Yeah, I've got an unblurred background, although let's see, I could probably see, here's the issue I'm having, right? See, right now my CPU is at like 80-90%. If I throw on the blur, then I'm concerned what's going to occur is that I'll throw it on right now. But I'm afraid what's going to happen is we'll get that like weird delay, and then the video and the audio won't sync up, which is what it looks like it's doing right now. But maybe it's caught up now. I don't know. I can't tell. But yeah, I figured I'd blur my bed. But at the end of the day, I live here, and the good news is I live here and I get to look at this. So today it's a little bit less. It's basically a little bit less hazy. It's still pretty hazy, and you probably can't even see in the background there the silhouette of Kolan. So that's kind of cool. And the other thing too is that unlike the premieres, my live streams here, they go out on Live My Ass Off, but they also go out on the Spot, Thailand, the Spot.fm. Or actually, they don't go out on the Spot.fm. I shouldn't say that. That's our website. It doesn't go out there. Can't watch here, but Facebook works pretty good. Really? Why is that? Is it delayed in a weird way? I definitely. Oh no, I know, because you're on the ship, and for some reason the video on Facebook is better. I remember that from yesterday. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Good to know. I did make my bed today. It may not be as perfect as the way you guys may have made yours, but I can tell you that yes, I absolutely did make my bed today. And it was funny because I didn't think about it. I'm at the point now where I just, well, okay, so to be fair, most days that bed gets made by Gracie. Just because we get up and we do certain things. So I get up, I push the button, which allows the water to boil, and boil. And then I put my version, my 3-in-1 that I like, which is Moccona Gold. And then I put her 3-in-1 that she likes, which is Nestle. Into a cup, and then I wait for the water to boil, and then I pour the water in, and then I stir it up, and then I am just epic husband at that point. I am providing sustenance for my wife early on in the morning. 9 of you watching, and we're 4 minutes in. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. The Christmas thing in the background is a little goofy, so I don't know if I'm going to double-click on that. I think we're going to get rid of that. Way to go, Gracie. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Gracie's coming to Bangkok this evening with Euryce, and so that's going to be fantastic. I get to go to the dentist today, actually, after this live stream. I'm going to pack a quick bag because it's like basically just, an overnight in Bangkok, and then I'm going to head up there. And look, there is Chris across the planet. Thank you for coming by, brother. Appreciate it. And one of the things that I really am excited about, actually, is setting some goals and following through on those goals, ideally, in 2024. But more importantly, like taking a look at 2023, like what worked, what didn't work, what was good, what was awesome, what was lame. And what do I want to do again? What do I want to make sure I never do again? That actually is something that I used to work on with my clients when I was coaching. It'd be like, okay, well, like, what's something really awesome that happened? Okay, and then we would start off with that, and then it's like, all right, well, what's something like really lousy that you never want to friggin' do again, ever? And so that was actually good, because sometimes it's a little easier for people to eliminate things versus saying, okay, I'm definitely going to do this, versus, you know what, dude, I am never going to shave my head again. Okay, well, we can work on that potentially, because there's a really easy solution. Just here's the tip: don't shave your head. But it's about 20 minutes after 8, and I'm not going to do a very long live stream. Some of you that are near me know that I'm sick, and I hate being sick, and I'm a child when I'm sick, and I am not in a good mood, and I whine, and it's not. Luckily, I'm alone, but soon I'm going to be with somebody, so I want to do my best to try and take care of myself. So, rest in liquids and that sort of thing. But I'm so friggin' tired. It's so annoying, and anyway, so actually, it's 8:19 right now. Honestly, this will probably be the shortest live stream in the history of Mighty Mike's, because I can already feel my throat starting to hurt, and if I start with a coughing fit, then that's going to be bad news bears pretty soon. So anyway, so today is also the last day of the WGP, the World Grand Prix of the jet ski competition thingy, which is right down there, which you see. And that's the cool part about that, actually, is that's the view that we have here from the balcony. So that's kind of cool. And that's a great place for us to, that's where, and then, so after I make that epic coffee for me and the wife, me and the missus, I don't ever say the missus, actually, I don't ever say the wife either. I say Gracie. I don't ever talk about her role. I call her by name. I know that that's very insane. Is that very democratic? I'm not quite sure. Chris and Joe, I'm so glad you guys are here. Bangkok looks forward to welcoming you back. Indeed, yeah, I'll only be there briefly. But yeah, I'm checking in. I'm going to be down near Punawiti, and then just staying over one night in a hotel, mainly because they come in at, well, AirAsia says that they're going to land at like 9 o'clock, which basically means I'm probably going to be able to see them finally at 10:30. Due to the level of incompetence that is traditionally expected and occurs from AirAsia. But they're cheap, but I will tell you, this is the last time I am booking a flight from the Philippines to Thailand on AirAsia, simply because if I do it on Cebu Pacific, even though that they're not awesome either, the beauty of Cebu Pacific is that I can buy basically the exit permit or whatever is that 15 or 2,000 or 16, 1,800 pesos rather, that a Filipino citizen needs to basically pay so they can leave their own country. And it's rolled up into the price of the ticket, so it's a lot more easier. That way she doesn't have to go to a separate desk and get the silly thing. I do need to buy more scarves, actually. What's interesting is I don't wear scarves here. Even in the super cold months of December when it's like 24, 25, when I wake up and I go out on the balcony and say, ooh, it's a little... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I would feel better if I bought more scarves. Thanks, friend. Appreciate it. You may want to test for the Rona before going to the dentist. Nah, I'm good. I guess I could, but I don't know. I don't even know if I have a test thingy around anymore. Remember, like, when that was a thing? Like, you had to have a test, and it was the C and the T. I've seen buddies recently posting on Facebook, actually, that they've gotten it, and I guess that's what the C and the T show up as a line, and then that means you do actually have it. So I don't know. I mean, I will tell you that I can pretty much guarantee you that it's not that, and that it is just some degree of like head/chest cold. Because I'm not really coughing much. I do occasionally, but then I'm also talking nonstop too, right? Did you guys see Pigeon Cam? Are you guys excited about Pigeon Cam? Are you thrilled that there is now Pigeon Cam? Tell the truth. You guys miss it. I know you do. Yes, Pigeon Cam is back, and Pigeon Cam is very happy to be alive. I need to get better Pigeon Cam. I need to get Pigeon Cam where I can basically remotely control the zoom and that sort of thing. This is like literally the world's cheapest camera, to the point where I throw it in my bag And my expectation is when I get to my destination, I'll just pull it out and it'll be broken and I'll throw it away. So every day that I get to use it one more day, it's like, oh, cool, a gift. Because I have no expectation that it's going to actually work. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, or rather, Joe. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get some rest here in a minute. I know, isn't that cool? There's like nature outside my window. Oh my goodness, how cool is that, right? For new viewers, what's Pigeon Cam? Oh my God, do you guys want to let her know what Pigeon Cam is? Okay, so during COVID, when a bunch of us YouTubers no longer could go outdoors, and the majority of our videos were based on being, well, outdoors, so many people started live streaming, right? And I did it just because I'm like, oh, cool, I'm indoors, I'll just do something. And so I did that. Gracie wasn't with me in Bangkok. And she was only going to be gone 2 weeks, which of course turned into 368 days, but who's counting? But I was like, so I threw it on, and I bought this $8 microphone, which, as it turns out, $8 microphones sound awesome when you run them through $699 mixers. No, I tweaked the caps in this thing. But in any case, I do have much better microphones, and I really should use them. The problem is that they're so great, they're actually heavy. And these cheap microphone stands that I bought, I put the microphone in there, and then it just like kind of like goes like this. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe I need a better stand. Maybe I need a better foundation for my microphone. So what I would do is I would do basically live streams like this, where I would sit in my living room next to my well, at the time, actually, we had a one bedroom, which was even smaller than this studio. But the cool thing about this is that you can sit in that bed, lay in that bed, and see that view right there. So that's why I really like it here. I was just like, no, I can't live. I mean, I can live by myself in a studio, but there's no way I can do. And with Gracie and I, this is going to be too much. No, and it's been perfect. It's been so great. The balcony, actually, honestly, I think the balcony is like 10 meters wide. It's just the biggest balcony we've ever had in a condo. It's basically the whole width of the condo. And it's probably 2 meters deep. What would you say, Mariano? Does that sound about right? So anyway, so I start these live streams, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm like back on the radio again. So I started doing them. And then we were in lockdown, right? Like the only thing I could do is pretty much go put a mask on, of course, go down the elevator, go to the lobby, pick up my groceries and come back. Like that was it. And of course the guy that delivered the groceries had a mask on and all of this. And it made these food delivery places in Bangkok just an absolute fortune. There was this really cool company that started, which was called Happy Fresh. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt in Bangkok, but they had amazing customer service, great delivery, and you could just basically say, okay, well, I want stuff delivered, and it was just groceries, right? So you could choose either Big C or Tops or Gourmet Market or whatever, and they would deliver it, and they did a great job at it. It was very reasonably priced, much like all delivery is in all of Thailand. But that was it, and so I would just like turn the microphone on and the laptop and just start doing. Pretty regularly, I would do 4 hours, and then, probably 50% of the time I would do 6, and then there were 8 and 12-hour live streams and stuff. I even did one that was 13 hours, which is awesome. Okay, let me tell you guys some stories about Michael Steele. Okay, first of all, the fact that you think you actually had to say, oh, yeah, dude, do you remember me? I'm the new guy. No, come on, man. Okay, so let me tell you something about Michael Steele. Michael Steele is literally the coolest DJ. I'm not blowing smoke off the air. He's a good DJ on the air, but like a lot of DJs, you turn the microphone on and then then they look like me, which is the infamous radio face. So I'm working in San Diego. This was literally the best radio gig I ever had. I don't know about you, dude. I mean, I know he went up to L.A. and he worked at KISS. And in fact, thank you for the opportunity to work on Rick D's studio. That was really fun. I may be playing his show here in Thailand on the radio station that I bought. Jealous much? Hey. So anyway, so Michael Steele is rad. And no, dude, I'm not I'm not joking. Like, dude, it was so hilarious to listen to you do your show. Now, as you recall, I also got pissed because he used to like to make margaritas in the studio, and the FCC is not a big fan of the whole like alcohol in like when you're on the air thing. And you know, and I'm a jerk, right? And I'm no fun, and I'm a lame ass engineer, and so therefore I was like, no. Actually, let me get real clear. I was like, no, Michael. And then he's sitting there going, dude, I have like a friggin' 12 share. Like, would you get your shit together, Somerville? God, that's just back. And so, and Mike, if you don't know, well, actually, I'm going to call him New Guy. So anyway, so why was he called the New Guy? Well, because literally we were so freaking creative at the station we were at, is that when the new DJ showed up, guess what we called him? Correct. The New Guy. That is how world-class radio is done, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever want to know how to get 1/10 of every single person in a market listening to you nonstop, come up with incredibly ingenious labels for your DJs, a.k.a. The New Guy. Speaking of radio DJs, ladies and gentlemen, you're not sure you belong at the Cool Kids table, though I do have a face for radio. So Paul is awesome. So right now I'm here in Jomtien Beach, just south of Pattaya, and I'm in Thailand. Michael Steele, ladies and gentlemen, is in Nashville, Tennessee, but comes from the mighty market number 2 of Los Angeles, and he's a rock star. Paul is in Alaska. I forgot the name. I could look it up. Dude, really? Like a fat kid loves cake, you love me? Because guess who's fat? Okay, just joke. I can say all I want, right? Because, of course, he's not here. I do have a fat face, but I'm actually quite slim. This morning, I'm 93 kilos, which is awesome to say because nobody in the United States can even do the math to figure out how many pounds is in a kilo. So that makes me incredibly smart. Oh, my God, Joe, I forgot to do this, but I love you too, dude. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. I'm quite certain that on let's see, what is it right now? So it is Saturday evening in Nashville. I'm going to go with 8:29 p.m., correct? And yes, you should be laughing out loud, Francis. Absolutely. So you got a heat wave here, 12 above. And just so you know, because he's from Alaska, and therefore he's talking in Fahrenheit. So that's actually not that awesome. But let me show you this, Joe. I found this morning, and I wanted to thank you again. If you guys don't know what this is a yarn version of Gracie. And Joe had this commissioned for me during COVID, when Gracie and I weren't together for just approximately 368 days, but who's counting? And so when Joe had this made for me, Dana and I were doing Bangkok Strange. We were doing the podcast on Saturday mornings, Bangkok Strange. And he had Jib, Dana's wife, knit this for me, and it is Gracie version pocket. So Gracie, I can lock it and put her in my pocket. And so they gave this to me while we were on the air, and I started crying, and it was awesome. So so it's funny because I literally do keep this with me when Gracie's not with me. Well, I keep it with me when she's with me too. So it's not like I put it in the garbage when we're not together. But I thought about it this morning, and I wanted to publicly thank Joe very much, which if you guys don't know, his handle is well-rounded at the point now, because he does these, as far as I know, he still does meditation videos. But yeah, so anyway, well-rounded Joe, thank you so much for Pocket Gracie and Gracie, mini Gracie. And so that's been really cool. Wow, so like cool people, cool radio people. Michael, if you're still there, if you don't know, Chachi's been just ridiculously supportive and helpful of the station here. So the spot.fm, my friend, go there and you will be able to hear one of Benstown's voices. She's a really cool lady. I can't remember her name. I want to say, because you know how we like every single person that works, our buddy Chachi is wildly successful in Los Angeles. He owns this production company basically called Benstown. And so they do imaging, if you guys know what that means. I know Paul knows what that means. But if you're not in radio, basically it's the thing between the music that kind of gets you excited. The push, this is 95 FM, or whatever. And so anyway, so to produce those takes time and talent. And so Benstown is the company that we use here for doing that. And Michael and our buddy Chachi is the guy who he's one of the leaders in that company. He started it. He's got other people that are like president and CEO and various labels of leadership in that company. Additionally, so that's your long description, Francis, of what is Pigeon Cam. but also all you guys will also know. Oh yeah, my camera's back. But anyway, so that's a 100 plus, and that's what I traditionally will drink here during the show to keep my voice gargling, so I can gargle my own grandchildren. So anyway, but yeah, so a heat wave in Alaska. McGrath, right? Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. McGrath, Alaska. He's up there with I believe he's got I don't think you've got 1,000 watts, right? I can't remember. And you've got a 2-bay, don't you? So you just like basically one gain. Can't remember. Anyway, 7:30. Oh, okay. So you guys aren't totally East Coast, huh? Nice. Yeah, it is cute, dude. Let me tell you something like that. Right now, Joe is a friggin' rock star. To double click on that, I don't know how he like kind of gave her the blueprints, because I mean, let's face it. You know, this thing. Gracie's not that flat chested. I'm just throwing that out there. Not that I'm partial to my wife being freaking epic. Just saying. Fat boy originally from Connecticut, so I'm used to cold and snow. Yeah, well, I'm from Boston, and I'm used to it. I'm also keenly aware that I need to get the hell out of cold weather. And so I absolutely did that. So that was really cool. Indeed, it's Pocket Gracie. I weigh 205 pounds. Is that what 93 kilos is? I was actually 92.7, but I just rounded up because non-commercial NPR network. That's right. Okay, got it. On a scale, okay, so you've got 180 watts. Total, if you got, okay, so this is what this means for you guys. He's got 180 watts, basically output of the transmitter, and then ERP is effective radiated power. So by the time the signal gets from the output of the transmitter, then it goes up the coax, where of course you lose some, and then it goes into his antenna, which is likely circularly polarized. And so therefore that's kind of why it splits like that and why they measure it as 90 watts effective radiated power. It's also mathematically based on the gain, or the loss, quite frankly, of the antenna. So if you have a single bay antenna, that is probably what you have to get 90 watts ERP. Oh, you got a Scala? Okay. And let's see, hold on. So that's totally possible. If I could join you on camera, I'd show you our studio. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I know I can do this. And let me put this in here, Paul. And then what that should do is allow you to click on that. You may, it's through this in-browser streaming solution. And so it's called Restream. And of course, they're in the business of selling their SaaS product. And so therefore, when you click on it, it may ask you to create an account. I don't believe you have to do that, but it's one of those deals where you could like log in with Google or something like that, just like G+ or whatever. But that should get you in eventually. And then what'll happen is eventually that you will show up here on my screen, and I will turn you on, as I'm sure I do to all of you regularly. And then we should be able to talk. And I also believe that I have the audio coming out of, let's see, if I do A2, then what comes out of here? Because I got, right now, the sound that comes from my PC, I've got a mix minus set up, no big whoop. You're streaming from Facebook. How do I need to do it to join you? As far as I know, dude, all you got to do is click on that link that I put up there if you're on your mobile device. Okay, so basically I'm not streaming like from Facebook. I know what you mean by that. Because it's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm going live on how do I join somebody on Facebook? And it's not via Facebook, it's via this platform called Restream. So anyway, from McGrath, Alaska, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the other cool thing is I believe, see, now there, okay, well, that's Mariano. So Mariano's on there. So hold on, let me do this. Did you literally just like flush the toilet, dude? What's going on over there? Attaboy. All right, now bring the camera down a little bit. He's in the office where we actually just got fiber, and so that's pretty awesome. You didn't see the link. All right, so because I thought that shoots it over to Facebook. So hold on, Paul. Let me go over to Facebook and find out where are you. Go ahead.
I just can't go up.
I beg your pardon.
I can go up to see you in person.
I know. I have the door locked for security because of the Russians. Let me see. Paul, are you watching on my... You're probably watching on my Facebook, right? So let me go to me and then see if I can... Yeah, so I'm live on there. I'm live on a bunch of other places too, but... okay, so there's Paul. So awesome. All right, Paul. So here's what I'm going to do, dude. I'm going to copy and paste this into... Actually, you know what, dude? Here, Paul. I'm just going to message it to you. How's that? So there you go. So I just messaged you the URL that will bring you into this this browser-based SaaS solution. And that should allow you to come in. Now, the technical neat thing about Paul is that he's going to be coming in via Starlink, which is well, I want to say I mean, again, it's not just him. He's got a team, but basically the Elon Musk satellite-based, internet system. And it'll be interesting because I don't know how much he pays for that, but I know that, like, obviously he's way up in Alaska. If you guys want to Google Map or Google Earth McGrath, Alaska, you'll be able to get an idea of where he is. And if he can hop on. So that would be cool. And especially since he's on his mobile device, then he should be able to very easily show us his studio. So I actually got rid of Facebook there. Can you believe sitting here right now that my CPU, which is cranking at like 3.5 gigahertz, I'm using like 65% of it, and I've got one Chrome tab open. Dude, what? That's ridiculous. That's just like so lame. Wow, we got down to 5 people. How disappointing. I hope that the reason being is because Paul like bailed and he's trying to get in on Restream. 8:39. I don't know if you saw the other people coming on. Mariano, but like it's crazy. One of my buddies from like when we were absolute rock stars in radio. That was like so cool. Okay, so tell me about the fiber that we have down in the office now. Is it actually really fiber, or does it like cut in and out?
It is really fiber.
Is it really fiber? Oh wait, yeah. So hold on, ladies and gentlemen. So let me do this. Alaska radio nerd up top, amigo. How you doing? Good. Okay, are you on Starlink? Is that your connection now?
No, I'm not right now. We're having problems with that. I'm on Viasat.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money for not a lot of bandwidth. So, all right. So, are you going to show us the studio?
I'm having some problems. It blew over in the wind a few days ago.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily the system. It's actually just the that happens, right?
No.
Fair enough. All right, so you got your phone. You're going to show us the studio? Because I want to see your console, dude. And for guys that don't know, that means his mixer that he uses. I want to see what kind of console. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's see how I turn this around here.
I think you literally just tap it.
How do I turn this around?
I think you just tap it, and then it uses the other camera. If not, you can just swing the phone around.
Let's see here.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so there you go. So if you guys are curious how a radio station runs, basically, that's a pretty nice mixer, actually, the console. So if you're from the UK, you're going to call it a, oh God, what do they call it? A desk. They call it a desk. We call it a console in the US, mixing console. That's the automation system that he's got right there, and that's basically just a PC that plays songs and those sweepers that I spoke about earlier. It plays all of that in a row, and so that's a radio station.
We're doing NPR's Weekend Edition right now.
Ah, okay, very good. How much NPR do you play? I assume you get it off the bird.
Several hours a day.
Several, okay. That's pretty good. And do you do things like, what is some of the super popular shows? Good, is it? It's not called Good Morning. What's the really popular program on like PBS, NPR rather?
Morning Edition?
Oh, really? Okay, how about now? Do you not hear double audio now? I screwed that up. I think I was rebroadcasting us, and I didn't need to. I hope you guys can still hear Paul.
I was hearing myself.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I was hearing myself multiple times.
Kazi, do you still hear double audio? I hope not. Hopefully I fixed that. Anyway.
I don't now.
All right, so dude, what time is it there?
Morning
it's got to be like what?
Is pretty popular.
3 p.m. in Alaska?
4 almost 4:45. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can.
Okay. But now I hear myself again.
Okay, hold on. Stand by. I know what I'm doing. I need to send this to this. So that way... Oh, I know what I was doing. Aha. Okay, fair enough. So now I should be able to hear you, but can you hear... Hopefully you won't be able to hear yourself twice now.
Let's see. Can I hear myself? No.
What's that? Go ahead.
I can hear myself. I can't hear myself. Excuse me.
Okay, good. Yeah. All
there we go.
There we go, yeah. Mix minus. The dreaded mix minus, my friend. Could you believe I actually didn't set that up correctly? Come on, dude. Radio 101. Yeah, so that's all his gear, guys.
Yeah, right?
That's his rack. In case you guys wondered, like, how much stuff you need to run a 90-watt radio station, there you go.
This is the satellite receiver that's in use right now that runs our NPR programming. Here is our automation hard drive, as you will. This is, if you tune into us online, this is what streams us online and feeds our other transmitters. And here is the receiver we use for statewide news and our transmitter.
The mighty transmitter.
It's that big.
Dude, that's crazy. I never thought...
Yep.
So when I was in college radio, we had... Oh, God, what did we have? I think we had like 160 watts or something ERP, which is an odd number. But here in Thailand, I have about, I want to say ERP, I've probably got around 1,000 because the transmitter is doing anywhere from 500 to 600. They're a little loose around here with the rules. And then it's a 4-bay, but it's a folded dipole. So I'm only doing vertical polarization. And so unfortunately, I'm not getting the full 3 dB a gain that I would love out of a 4-bay. But what do you guys have a 1-bay, yeah?
Yep. Just a turnstile at the top of the tower. If it was a little lighter out, I could even, you know what? Let's see how much we'll be able to see in the dark. Well, it's not quite dark yet. But let's see here.
Oh, shocker. Oh, my God. Okay, wait, what time of day is it?
It's 4:45
p.m.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, that's not... I mean, in New England at 4:45 p.m., it absolutely will get that dark that early. But, I mean, how much daylight do you guys have at this time of year?
From about 10:30 until 4 p.m., give or take a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a whole lot different than like Maine, basically.
Yeah, and that is that what you're looking at now is our tower.
Okay. Now, how tall is your tower? That's probably looks about what, 50 meters?
60 feet.
Okay.
It is 60 feet.
Oh, 60 feet. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Right on.
60 feet. We don't have it painted or lighted, but because of the proximity to the airport, we had to get a determination that we didn't, and it does have an antenna structure registration number, which I am required to post on the tower right outside the window. And the ironic part of it all is that the sign requires our contact information. If you're standing there reading that sign, you can yell into the window to one of us.
Right. That works. I mean, it's, the tin cans and string, dude. I mean, there's a lot of reliability to that.
Yeah. But you know, it works, and we actually, there's a community about somewhere between 10 and 15 miles to my west that when you're on the outskirts of the community, you can hear us because there's nothing taller than our tower between here and that community. And
That's
it's only
cool.
90 watts at 60 feet.
Yeah, sure, but it's line of sight, so you're
Yep.
golden. Nice, dude. That's really cool. You actually
Yep.
probably get a lot of participation
We got working turn.
with the FM because, I mean, people up there probably actually
Yep.
really use the radio.
They do. And when we get something wrong, they're usually very quick to tell us.
Isn't that always the way? It's like, oh, yeah, I got so many calls this afternoon
Yes.
telling me I was doing a great job on the air. No, doesn't happen.
Yeah. We have working record players in the studio.
Awesome.
We have let me to turn the camera around, it requires a couple of. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to show you. I have to change the camera again.
Right. Yeah, look. So what? And that's got to be what, 2,000?
Yep, about give or take about there.
Yeah, nice. And so, how often do you actually pull one of those and play it, or do you just pull it and then rip it and then play it in the automation system?
I have not played one in like 6 months, at least.
Okay, yeah. But all that stuff's
Then
probably in the system,
we've
right?
got most of it, yes. Then we've got this.
Okay. Oh my God, vinyl, dude, you're my hero. Nice work. Wow, that just is. Look at that. That's
And
phenomenal.
it's all playable. It's all playable. It's all playable. And what I can't really show you too easily is there are so many records here, the floor sags.
The floor. Okay, I can see the shelves, maybe that
Yes.
sort of thing, but the floor.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
These records have probably, some of these records, I'd wager most of these have been here since the station signed on in 1981.
81. Now, how long have you been there? 2, 3 years?
Yeah. 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Nice.
3
dude.
years.
Nice. Huh.
I'm
Well,
just
that's pretty
pulling
crazy.
out. I'm pulling out random records to see what I
Oh my
what I
God. What is
find.
that? It's like a Beach Boys album? I can't even. Oh my God, dude. Wow.
No, Relin Reddy, whoever
Yeah, I never heard
whoever
of it.
that is. Now
Totally. Right. Yeah.
the one thing that I have to do here that not many people do. I mean, Mike, you're smart enough to know what satellite dishes and snow do and don't mix.
Yeah, you might as well just point it into the ground, basically, dude.
Well, you would think, and I made this mistake when I first moved here. It's like, oh, the look angle is such that snow doesn't collect, and you would think, looking at these,
right.
snow's not going to collect in them.
No, forget it.
You're wrong.
Yeah, no.
You're very, very wrong. And I have to go out and brush these out every once in a while. I learned the hard way the first time coming back years ago, 2.5 years ago, coming back from the post office one day,
Right.
when we had no audio on the air. We had it earlier in the day. Enough snow collected to kill the signal at some point during the middle of the day.
You're like, what happened? Well, wait. So, do you have like heaters on your antenna? Like, do you get ice collection, de-icers up on your antenna?
No,
You don't need that, huh? Okay.
No. No, believe it or not, this is the front of the transmitter, and we generally have no reversed power coming back.
Oh, that's nice.
Generally none.
Yeah.
I mean, literally zero. We occasionally will have, when it gets really frosty and snowy and icy, we'll have 1 or 2 watts, but I've never even had a red light show up on that transmitter.
That's nice. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, basically, is when you send a signal out coax and into an antenna, there is occasionally what's called reflective power. and that's basically due to an impedance mismatch, which of course is affected by temperature and ice and that sort of thing, conductivity of the coax as well as that. And we refer to that as VSWR, or reflected power. VSWR standing VSWR, which is voltage standing wave ratio, and it's simply the amount of power that's getting reflected back. The worst thing in the world for an engineer, a transmitter, is to have too much of that, because basically it means you're slamming like power into your transmitter
yourself.
It's not supposed to work that way. It gets very disappointed and overheats, and a lot of bad things can happen. So that's great, dude.
Yeah.
Because in that environment, you would expect to have at least a little bit, based on, you know, the conductivity, of course, because of, Wow. Good for you. Look at the back of that. Nice cable management, buddy. Oh, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that is what's known as an engineer's eye roller. Good job. Oh, my God, you get a massive power split up?
Yeah.
That's hot. That is great. I love it. Love everything about that.
Well, the thing is, we're moving the studio down the road in the third quarter of 2024. And so my goal is just to hold on to this stuff for dear life.
Yeah.
Because the satellite stuff and the FM transmitter staying here.
Okay.
The studio, like the console and stuff, is moving down the road. And I know we are going to unplug and redo this gear. So I'm holding on to it for dear life until we upgrade. Because we're getting a new console. We're getting new automation. So that's going to require a lot of this to be redone, because I guarantee you at least a third of the cables that you just saw on my pile of spaghetti back there don't go to anything that we currently use.
No,
however, I'm not going to screw with that, because one time I did, and I knocked off our internet for 45 minutes and couldn't figure out what I did.
That's the downside with all that. You're like, I bet a third of these aren't even used. Of course, I don't know which third that is. Yeah, I get that. So here's a question for you, Paul, from someone else on Facebook, which is they're wondering how many moose. I've
learned that the hard way,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So there's a question from someone on Facebook. How many moose have you seen in Alaska lately? Do you see them regularly?
Well, was it today? Yeah, I think today. Was it today or yesterday? The days kind of all blend together out here sometimes.
I'm sure.
Especially because we had no mail delivery on Thursday or Friday.
Right.
Because the weather was so bad, the planes couldn't fly out.
Okay.
And when there's no mail delivery, that kind of makes the days just kind of meld together.
Really?
I think it was this morning, or was it yesterday morning? I don't forget. A mama moose and her baby were right off one of the side roads in town. They were standing on the edge of the road eating branches off a tree, and I just had to sit there and wait.
And well, I mean, they're quite large animals, right? You don't really want to mess with them.
Because, yeah. No, you do not. I was on my ATV, and I saw them from a bit of a distance, so I just stopped and sat there and wait, and it was taking them a minute or two, so I kind of gunned my engine, because they don't like loud noise. They
okay.
So I tried to see if I could scare them off a little bit. They scampered off, and I kept going. But 2 years ago, when I was using rock salt outside, after I'd shovel, I had moose at my doorstep, literally at my doorstep, 6 times in 4 days. I now use cat litter.
Oh, okay. So the salt, they were attracted to that for some reason. They need more of it.
They were literally sitting on my steps, licking the ground.
Wow. I didn't know that they were so. Now, okay, so this mama moose, I'm going to go with what, 1,500 pounds? I mean, they're quite large animals, bro.
Oh yeah, and they get very protective.
Sure.
Of their baby moose.
Yeah.
If mama moose thinks baby moose is in danger.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, my mom was the same way. She just had less antlers. But So when are you like on the air there, dude? Because we got a request for someone. They want to hear "Dancing with Myself" by Billy Idol. But when are you on the air there?
I am on the air. I'm trying to do the math because you all would understand probably UTC or GMT, which is the same right now.
Yep, UTC,
so I'm on the air from 1600 to 1800 UTC, and then from 21 to 2300 UTC weekdays.
Okay, so where we're at right now, we're UTC +7. So I need to go because I need to head up to Bangkok. Thank you for coming by, but I'm gonna do this, dude. I'm gonna send you a message because on New Year's Eve, what we do is we do a 24-hour live stream. And so therefore we celebrate New Year's Eve in every single time zone as it goes around the world. And I'm gonna need a contact in Alaska because you guys are what? UTC -9? No.
-9.
-9. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
we're UTC plus. No, and so when I'm like listening to the radio from another country, I take my time and add 9 to it.
Got it. Yeah. Because they're right. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock here. Oh my God, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. This has been totally awesome. The guys have totally dug it, man. Let's stay in touch, huh?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And before you go, people ask about things here in Alaska. I'm 200 miles off the road system. You cannot drive out of the community and get anywhere. I pay $8 for a half gallon of milk, $9 for a pound of ground beef, $3.79 for a 20-ounce bottle of soda, $13 for a family-sized bag of potato chips. Wow. Eggs are about $7. Bananas are like, I think, $3 a pound. I just got back to the store from the store about half an hour, 45 minutes ago, and bought 6 rolls of paper towels for $20.
Okay, what's a gallon of gas?
Are you sitting down?
Yeah, of course I am, dude.
Of course you are. Yeah. It is $8.43.
Wow. And you literally pull that damn oil out of the ground from like 100 miles away. That's not, I mean, it's got to be refined, of course, I get it, but wow.
Yeah, though there's a village about 15 miles away from me. They pay over $11 a gallon. A village in the news for reasons completely unrelated to gas. They're paying $18 a gallon in this one village in western Alaska.
Wow. That's nuts. That's a great way to leave it, dude. We're going to talk a little bit more about that because, as you might guess, a lot of the things people wonder about Thailand. What's the cost to live in Thailand? And I can guarantee you right here that I do not pay $3 for a pound of bananas. Ever. So, well, dude, again, seriously, thank you so much. I'll message you and we'll do New Year's Eve.
To Mike.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It all boils down to people ask why. I love my job. Like, you've seen it. You see me on Facebook.
Of course.
Absolutely love my job, and I love my hobby. And my job and my hobby are exponentially better here than they have been anywhere else. So it is absolutely worth it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. That's a great way to end the Paul interview. Have an amazing day, dude.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon. Ciao.
You too.
So that was a real treat. And I'll tell you something. If you guys wonder, like, why the hell did you retire and then start a radio station in a foreign country? For exactly the same reason that Paul just basically summarized, is that, you know, I started doing it for fun and for free when I was a kid, and I basically still do it for fun and for free. And so with that, it is a little bit after 9. I'm going to get packed, and I'm going to hopefully take a nap. I don't know. But I'm going to head up to Bangkok. With that, Mariano, give me a big high five there, buddy. Give me a big one. Big one. There you go. Figure it out. Attaboy. Skadoosh. That's good douche. All right, my friends, with that, it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com saying, I hope you're living the dream, because if you are not living the dream, then there's a high likelihood that you don't have a friend in McGrath, Alaska, that broadcasts on a 90-watt FM transmitter at 60 feet above the frost line, and he loves his job. So I'll talk to you guys